this shoe, I very rarely come across people who bring up this shoe. And I feel like this is the shoe that encapsulates exactly what a story is in a sneaker. Or in essence, you could really read the story on the sneaker. So I'll pull these out right here. There's a few items to this, so I'll bring out one.
Oof.
Yes.
These are the Nike Dunk Soul Collector Las Vegas.
Shout out
Those
Vegas.
400
love the
made.
colors on those. Wow.
These colors these colors are one of my favorite. And the quick the quick story about this is when I was first getting into sneakers, I feel like we could all kind of say the same thing when we first get into sneakers. We go buying whatever we like and we
Mhm.
start spending on things that maybe we like the color on this one, or maybe we like the comfort in this one, or maybe it's a different collaboration. But this sneaker, once I was able to pretty much understand the history or at least the story behind this, once I was able to understand it, I knew that all the sneakers I had in my collection did not matter.
Mhm.
I ended up selling my whole collection just so I was able to get this one shoe. And shout out Matt. Matt, my boy Matt is the one who supplied me with this shoe, and along with,
Wow.
let's see, focus, a
Oh,
limited edition keychain,
yep.
and you could see that on the keychain it reads Nike Town Soul Collector Sneaker National Championships, July 22nd, 2006, Las Vegas.
Wow.
And it also came with a few things. And this is what I love about, I feel like the sneakers back then were released, came with a lot of
Mhm.
different stuff, whether it was the sneaker cards, uh, calendars, t-shirts, keychains, eh, from things like this matters. The
Yep.
documentation, uh,
Yeah, just those little details. Wow.
Sheesh.
That's so cool. Yeah, all the little details. That's what makes that. Man. Yes.
Sheesh.
it was a struggle finding all this stuff, by the way.
Yeah, I can
It
imagine.
just being able to get everything from even I'm not sure if I'm the only one that's like this, but I like keeping receipts.
Yes.
But
Man,
yeah,
that's crazy.
this is the one pair that made me go, I can't look at any other sneaker the same way. The story that this represents, and I'll dive into it a little bit quickly because I know we're on rapid time, but
Oh, no, you're good.
the sneaker basically represents the the sneakerhead, of course,
Mhm.
surrounded by all his sneakers that really don't make him the happiest in a sense, or it's just not fulfilling. So, what does he do? Let's turn on this side. He goes throughout the journey of speaking with other collectors, trying to see where he can get this sneaker, finds out where it is. Still, now he's going looking through different stores, looking through different boxes. Then we get on this side, meets meets another collector, finds out where it is. He's happy. Finally, he gets to see it's just two resellers now looking to pretty much flip him off, hence really flip him off with a horrible price for these shoes. And of course he's astonished, like, you can't do this, like this is insane. But in the end, with due time and a little bit of hope, of course, he ends up with the sneakers, with all the sneakers around him that, like I said, don't do its justice. This one has the story of every sneaker collector's experience in finding his grail pair. And this is my grail pair. It's such an amazing sneaker to me, from the colorway to the story, and it was so great that I had a couple. I had a couple.
Yeah, my
I
God.
had a couple few. But
Yeah,
and when Soul Collector was when Soul Collector was obviously, doing these sneaker uh, competitions, obviously I wasn't around that time, but I was able to speak to a few individuals that have helped me get in contact with the founder of Soul Collector, Steve Mulholland. And we had a very nice conversation. And that whole story is on my Instagram, so you could read that. But he left me with this quote, and I'll read it to you because this is definitely, it was definitely a key moment in my time of photographing sneakers. And before I go, actually, I'll read you the quote. He states, "These are the type of kicks with true stories behind them and inspire others. And when you inspire, you end up with a pair of kicks that is timeless as a story." And that's how I want my work to make other people feel.
sure.
I
Yeah,
want people to feel that they can find these photos in the archives of some magazine or in some museum where, it's as timeless as a story. And shout out to my boy Imran. Imran, I remember it was December 16th, 2016. That day, he spoke history about sneakers to me. And at that time, I was still skating a lot. I didn't really know about sneakers heavily. But what made me sell the whole collection, invest into these sneakers, made me go, these matter, or at least these stories matter. And he
right,
educated that throughout the whole way. So for me to look at a pair now and figure out if I really want it or not, I have to remember that this shoe is, if it doesn't beat this shoe or come close, I can't have it. Or at least I just don't want it. It would just be another reminder that it's just be another reminder that why do I have this shoe in the first place if it doesn't have a true story behind it. But
right.
yeah,
No, and
that
that's
that was that's my grail piece, or at least my most underrated sneaker. And I wish people knew more about it, or at least more people wore the shoes, because out of
right.
400 made, I know that Steve has five. I know a couple people who have three, two. I have three. It's cool to see where these pairs end up. Some in the
Right.
trash, or who knows. But that's one of my most underrated sneakers for sure.
No, that's amazing. I've never heard of those, and that story, like, that's incredible. Like, I know there's good storytelling with some collaborations, but that's the peak right there.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Bro,
I'm glad that I could show you guys this, because
Yeah, thank you.
anytime I meet other sneaker enthusiasts, I always bring up that pair because I know that that's that's the pair that truly made everything work, or at least made everything happen regarding the sneakers or the photography in this case, or the
yeah,
vision.
Right.
That
Yeah,
storytelling vision.
100%.
bro, I want to take a second. Like that gave me chills, bro, because that's one thing I love about shoes. Like that's um that's what you remember, right? Like I think I remember like recently on my local Facebook group, someone posted the lows, the cowboy lows, and
Yeah, yeah.
someone asked like, "What are those?" And I think a lot of people know So Collector now for like full size run and like that,
Right.
but I don't think a lot of people understand like back in like the mid 2000s, So Collector was putting out some of the most iconic like sneaker collaborations, and it wasn't just dunks, right? Like they touched other Nike basketball models.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching and you're not familiar with some of the collaborations that Soul Collector is responsible for, like go look it up. Just look up Soul Collector sneaker collaborations. But